Good morning, you three. How are we? It is Friday. It's about 9 o'clock, and I am on my 4th day working from home. I'm hoping that everybody is keeping safe, keeping well, having fun, getting on with some learning, having some fun. Said that twice. And I hope that some of you were outside clapping yesterday at 8 o'clock. What a magical moment that was, if you did see it. Okay. So, The Boy Who Lived with Dragons, Chapter 17. We have just found out that there was a lady who knew something about the dragon tree, and she lived in the house that Grandad lives in before Grandad did. So, we're going to find out what happens next. Chapter 17. Things that go bump in the night. I was used to vivid dreams with Flicker curled beside me, imagining flying over strange lands of fire, ice, and volcanoes erupting around me. They were happy dreams, but that night my dreams were very different. I don't know if it was finding the secret map or seeing all those travel books that did it. I was high up, looking down on a forest that stretched on and on, as far as I could see, and there was a river twisting its way beneath me, and clearings, just like on the map. Except in my dream, there were strange towers in the clearings, buildings, like a city. And then I felt this intense heat. Flames were shooting out all around me. I turned my head and saw wings. My wings. I was a dragon. And next to me was another dragon, soaring alongside, its eyes ablaze. We passed over the city, our great wings beat in the air. Faces looked up at us, hands were raised, pointing. Then suddenly, my stomach lurched and we dived down, 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 towards the canopy of the trees. As we got closer, we opened our mouths and fire burst from us, scorching the trees below. The land was burned and we rose up, leaving nothing but ash behind us. I woke up and flung the covers off, still feeling the heat of the fire on my skin. My heart was racing, whether for excitement or terror I couldn't tell. Flicker wasn't curled up against me anymore, but perched up on the windowsill. He was glowing fiercely, sweeping his little pointed tail back and forth. Lolly was kneeling up on the bed and staring out of the window, her hands pressed against the glass. "What is it, Lollipop?" I whispered. She turned, rubbing her eyes, and looked grumpy, then pointed. I knelt up beside her and peered out across the garden. At first, I couldn't see anything. There was just the inky night sky and the silhouette of the crooked fruit tree. But then, right down at the end, almost at the hedge, I saw a beam of light. It moved from side to side and then stopped. It was far too dark to see where it had come from exactly, but I could guess. It must be Grim's shed. But what on earth was he doing out there in the middle of the night? What was so urgent he couldn't wait until morning, or so secret he needed it to be done under the cover of darkness? The next day, I couldn't wait to get out to the dragon fruit tree. While Grandad was still having breakfast, I took the tin of ash down to the garden. Easing the lid off, I started to scoop out 5 teaspoonfuls just as instructed. I sprinkled it over the soil, around the trunk, and then raked it for good measure. The tree looked even worse than the day before. All the cactus leaves had gone from a glossy green to brown. And the worst thing was there was a couple of fruits I'd seen growing had shriveled. The poor tree looked like I had felt when I was poorly, all saggy and sorry for itself. I just hoped I wasn't too late to save it. The thought of the tree dying made me feel as if someone had used a spoon I was holding to hollow out my insides. Late that afternoon, I met up with the others at our den. "So, do you think this woman, Elvie, knew about the dragons?" Kat asked, after I told them all about the map and the tin of ash. I shrugged. I haven't found anything to say she knew dragons actually hatch, But the map did have a dragon drawn on it, and she was definitely looking after the tree. Maybe she was the one that planted it in the first place. Who knows? I kind of hope she did know, Kat said. I mean, if your granddad's right and she didn't have any other family, it'd be nice to think she at least had the dragons. Her eyes fell on Crystal, who was frosting some cobwebs, leaving them sparkling in the sunlight. I smiled. Although it was strange thinking of someone else who knew the secret, I couldn't help agreeing with Kat. Let's hope the ash does the trick and helps the tree, she said. So, what's your news? I asked. What's Liam been up to? Kat delved into her bag and pulled out a chart. She laid it in front of us proudly. The twins had really gone to town on Liam watch. The colour coding alone must have taken them hours. But although it was undoubtedly pretty, I wasn't sure exactly how it showed Liam's movements over the last couple of days. Ted leaned in, chewing on the end of a felt tip pen. So, basically, he's been in their shed apart from when he went to the park, he said. I started with a laugh. Ted had a knack of getting to the heart of the matter. Well, yeah, basically, said Kai. And that black bit? That's when we followed him to the park, but then he had to go for a swimming lesson. And you were supposed to take over watching him, Kat added sternly, turning to Ted. Yeah, well, I've already told you about that, said Ted. Ted had told us at great length. He had been having a few problems with Sonny. The dragon was eating and growing so rapidly it was getting harder for Ted to hide him and the damage it was causing. We think Liam must be keeping the dragon in their shed, Kai said. Poor thing, Kat said. Locked up in there. Don't worry, Ted said reassuringly. Now we know where he's hiding it, we can figure out a plan to set it free. Yeah, simple, Kai said dubiously. It is, Ted said. We just need a distraction. Okay, that's the end of this chapter. I shall upload the next one next Monday, so Monday after the weekend. If you have watched or got this far in this video, tell me what you think is going to happen. How are they going to set the dragon free? Is it going to be easy? Is Liam going to find them? And what has LV got to do with all this? And until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.